You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on?
Okay. We're gonna do it again. So, how's your weekend going thus far?
My weekend is good. I've been pretty busy. I had dinner on Friday night with one of my old friends. Then I watched the game. I went to sleep. Saturday was pretty busy. Saturday I was kind of like all over the place. I didn't know it was considered a spectrum.
Okay.
Like people ask me this stuff all the time, and like once upon a time it was just LGBT. That was it.
Yeah.
And there were some of us who wanted to be considered no labels because it's like,
Yeah, I remember that.
what?
Facts.
Like we just out here
Yeah.
living life. Like what are you talking about? So that's just funny to hear.
Go ahead and get into this intro. Welcome to another Cold Game Conversation. I am your host, Jazz Avante. And today we have a special guest. I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
I was just gonna say I am Slaps.
So tell them where to find you. Tell them everything you do.
So I'm a serial entrepreneur. You can find me on Instagram if you want __slaps SLAPS __, or you can just type in slaps. I'm a poet, so you can find me on like Apple Music, Pandora, Spotify. Yeah. Like spoken word. I've performed on stages since 2016 doing that. So what's that, like 7 years? Last week I published my very first book.
Girl, stop playing with her. Plug it in.
So my book is called Heartbroken and Reckless Volume 1.
Okay.
And you can find it on Barnes and Nobles. I mean, it's a book.
Tell me about it.
So the series that it's in is called Journey to Healing, and the part 1 was Heartbroken and Reckless.
Okay.
And then I wanted to do a part 2 and a part 3 that was like healed but forever healing. And then you know what I'm saying, because like you can get over stuff and you can like go to therapy and stuff, but like you're always going to be healing. Like healing is not an ending thing. Like it's a forever thing.
Right.
But I wanted to do the heartbroken and reckless part because I really wanted, especially my audience, like people who have listened to my poetry for years, because my poetry is like, I have poems that are sad and about breaking up and about, just very dark things. And then I have poems about sex and happiness and love. And so it's all over the spectrum, so to speak, in that area.
Okay.
And Heartbroken and Reckless is just like that toxic, dangerous woman era. Because like that's what I went through from my experience. And believe it or not, a lot of people resonate with having toxic, dangerous things behind closed doors. They may never say it, but a book of poems. I did specifically 111 poems, 111, because I believe in numerology.
Facts.
So, and like I put it like a workspace so people could write their own thoughts, and like the book is filled with short poems and haikus, which is really, really short poems.
Okay.
And HAIQKU, basically, if you want to go look it up. But it's just a really, really, really short poem.
Okay.
And so it doesn't require people to sit there and read a whole bunch. Like you can get through the book in like 2 days if you really wanted to.
Okay.
So really enjoyable time for me. This next book I'm doing is going to be the part 2 of my journey to healing. But I'm going to invest more, better editing, I guess, partnerships, better sponsorships with different companies like Barnes and Noble, Amazon.
Right.
I want a bigger book release party. I know that sounds crazy, but my book release party was lit.
Yeah.
It was really lit. We had like a little poker thing. We had a cards game table thing. We had like a little basketball shooting thing, like a little arcade thing. I actually used another LGBT person. I used her venue because I actually do her insurance.
Okay.
So, which... Yeah, my main job is insurance. I own an insurance agency towards Katy, Texas, which is like the outskirts of Houston.
Okay.
Man.
So I want you to take me back to your childhood. Like, who are you? Where are you from, Slaps?
So I'm from Central Texas. I am a military brat. I was raised with 2 parents. My mom and my dad got married when I was like 2. My mom was technically considered my stepmom, but she was the only mom who I knew, like the mom who raised me. So I consider her to be my mom. They were both Black. So I was raised in a Black household. I was raised with 3 of my little sisters. I do have other family members, just not ones I was raised with. And yeah, I guess you could say like small town girl, military brat. Yeah.
Okay. So where would you say is like home for you?
Definitely Houston.
Okay. So when'd you get settled here?
So I lived in Austin for a while, in Vegas for a while, and then I settled in Houston in like 2015.
Okay.
2015?
Okay. So what does a regular day look like in your life?
Crazy. And my alarm goes off at like 5:30. From there, it's like my first prayer of the morning, a little bit of meditation, probably some Earl Grey tea.
Okay.
Depending on if I work out or not, depends on what's going on. If I work out, I do like simple weightlifting and stuff because I do a lot of cardio with my dance team. But if I don't, I like to dance. I like to listen to music. Some people say like, oh, I like to dance with my ancestors or whatever. But I listen to a lot of music. I'm very surprised I'm not writing songs for like Taylor Swift or somebody because I do listen to a lot of music.
You write too?
I do. So
You might as well go ahead and spill a little something for
us.
She said, nah, hey, link in bio. Book my shit. Fuck you talk about. So when did you start doing like live performances? Talk about that.
Yeah. So that was in 2016.
Okay.
It was August 2016. Basically, I had hit rock bottom, I think, for like the 3rd time in my life. And like when you're young and you're like in your 20s, like you're like, WTF, like what's going on? What is life trying to teach me? All this other stuff. And I went from having a lot of money to couch hopping really, really quick. And so one day, one of my friends was like, hey, there's like this platform called Poetry Lounge Houston. It's been around for like 20 years. You know, I know the guy who runs it. I think you should go up there, you know, like a virgin to the mic and spit your stuff because you're always writing in your journals and stuff. And I went and I was like, really nervous. Like I had took like 5 or 6 shots of Crown to like loosen up to get on the stage. But then after I performed, his name is Seven the Poet, by the way.
Okay.
After I performed, Seven was like, you gotta come back. Like this speaks volumes. And ever since then, I've just been hitting the stages. I'm blessed to say like I'm really talented. You know, I was helped like by other people to help me find my voice, you know, like God doesn't always give people a voice, you know what I'm saying? So finding mine was a journey in itself. I think sharing it on stage with others, you know, like this right here, this podcast, this is a stage technically for you. You know what I'm saying? So I think sharing my message with others and being mindful of the power of the tongue and like what you put out there and what you want other people to know and what you want them to learn really speaks to your character. And so I don't know, I've just been balling since.
Yeah. So kind of talk about some struggles that you went through. Like you just said, you had all this money, then boom, now you couch hopping. Like, how did you go through that mentally? And how did you surmount that? How'd you overcome that?
I was a disaster. Like in general, I've battled with mental health since I was a teenager. So I fall into depression pretty easily. My anxiety is like, but back then I didn't have healthy ways to control it. I didn't have a therapist at the time.
Okay.
And so I was just kind of surviving, you know what I'm saying? And so I would basically get up, work out every day for like 3 hours. I was probably the smallest I've ever been. And then I would smoke. And I would just sleep. I would watch TV. Like I always wanted to be asleep or in dark places because that's what kind of like depressive I am. Like when I get depressed, that's how I start acting. I start isolating myself. And I had friends, you know, but at the time, my relationship, so backtrack, my parents didn't really talk to me for a little bit, for a couple years actually, right out of high school. And I had like this girlfriend my parents really didn't approve of and stuff. And so I was kind of like not left to the streets, but I really didn't have any like parents or like people to depend on or nothing like that. My friend, you know, that would let me like live with them, like couch hop basically, they were cool, but I would always, because you never want to overstay your welcome, right? So I was in like this place at 3 months, this place at 3 months. And then finally, like my godparents are white. They live in Conroe.
Okay.
And they're real country too. They're like very like soulful, listen to blues type of people. They were okay with me being gay. And when things weren't going well with me and a girl I was with, they kind of saved me. Like, 'cause she was batshit crazy, bro. Like, she was like threatening me. Like, it was horrible. Oh my gosh. And so I ended up moving in with them and just trying to find a real job, like a real 9 to 5. And I ended up starting to work at this clinic that was like maybe 10 minutes away from my parents' house, and slowly like started to get my life back together.
Yeah, okay.
So I really think like I didn't really have a lot of like mental health support, or like I wasn't really like washing my crystals and doing moon baths at that time. I was really just thugging. Like, seriously, just thugging, sleeping, smoking, hanging out with my parents in the garage drinking. Like,
Right. What woke you up? I love asking people this. Like, what was the key in your ignition to be like, you know what? I got to wake the fuck up. I got to get out of this depression. Like, what was that? What got you up out of that misery?
I lost someone I thought was my best friend. And me and her would hang out all the time. Like, I would hang out with her kids. Like, she could fuck somebody in the bed next to me. I wouldn't care. Like, we were cool. Like she was really my best friend. Okay. And there was like some rumors that had started within the industry. And like being in the entertainment industry in Houston is not like everybody know everybody. It's not, this is not Hollywood, but you don't have to have 1 million followers for everybody to know who you are. So everybody knew like there was some kind of beef going on between us because certain people were running their mouth. I don't know the whole truth behind it still to this day, even though it's all like forgiven and like forgot.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like it was just crazy. And I don't know, like losing my best friend, to me, that hurts worse than a breakup. I know I'm not the only person who feel like this, but like to me, losing my best friend hurt worse than like any heartbreak I ever had. Cause like I had to keep going.
Did she pass away?
No, like we just weren't friends anymore.
No friends anymore. Okay.
And it was over some really stupid shit.
Stupid shit.
Really stupid shit. And we're both entertainers in the industry.
You know what I be saying? Like, a wise woman once told me, she honestly told me that she was like, Jazz, people come in your life for reasons, seasons, and lessons. There was a reason she came in your life.
Right.
It's probably just a season. Probably came into your life for a lesson that you needed to learn. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like to put inside my head. If, you know, if I have a friend or something and, you know, something go down and we ain't cool no more, it's just like, all right, Jazz, hey, that was a reason. That was a season. Now extract the lesson so you can move forward.
And me losing her was the lesson of waking up. Like, I just wasn't woken up. I was so fucking comfortable with being in peace and tranquility. Like, out in Conroe, I had like this natural like trail. Like, I just, you know, I walked it. My life was very different. It wasn't in Houston. Like, she would be the one like, let's go here, let's network, let's go here, let's do this. Like, she did introduce me to like a lot of stuff like in Houston you just have to do like to really just be established here, or to be even considered a veteran here. Like, when people say like I'm a vet, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. You served?
No, like a poetry veteran.
Okay.
No. Both my parents were military.
Got you. I'm like, damn. Okay, so outside of poetry, what else do you do?
Insurance.
Okay, talk about that.
I love my insurance agency. That's my baby. Oh my gosh. I love insurance.
Put me on game because I need it.
There are so many. So I tell my customers this all the time, but 70% of Americans who pay for insurance, mind you, because not everybody got fucking insurance. Why? I'm so sorry but I have no idea. Y'all need to have insurance.
Let us know.
But I felt that with my community, and the way I even had the opportunity to own an insurance agency before the age of 30 anyway is crazy. That shit is nuts. Like, people are not doing that, let alone people of color, let alone women. Like, insurance is a white dominated male industry, and anybody will tell you that.
So is it life insurance?
I have an agency, meaning I do life insurance, I do commercial insurance, home insurance, auto insurance, specialty.
Okay.
I have my licenses for everything. My agency has its license.
So when did you start that?
I've been in insurance for a few years now. I I have had my own like storefront though for a couple years.
How's that going?
I love it.
Girl, talk a little bit more about that. So when did you decide to have the storefront?
Probably like 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I have, so my district manager one time, he was telling me like, oh, I put you with this mentor because he says you can do it. He really believes in you. Like you can make more than 100K a year. And when I was younger in my 20s, I used to think that was a goal. Like I just need to make more than 100K a year. That, like I was just so hell bent on that because then I was like, then I'll break my family generational curse of none of us ever making 100K a year before the age of 30. Like that's something big to me, or it was to me at that time.
Okay.
And one day my district manager was talking to me, and he's still the district manager today over all of the people who own agencies in Houston or this Houston district. And he was like, you like poetry, right? I was like, yeah, because, somehow they be FBI feds. Like, we just know stuff about people. But he was like, well, I'm trying to give you your money poetry. Like, I'm just trying to give you some serious keys to, like, what you want to do. You're going to have to invest a lot of money into a lot of different stuff. And I'm trying to tell you, like, this is how you do it. Like, currently in our district, I think there's only maybe 4 or 5 of us out of, like, 100 plus who are 29 and under. Like, that's not no easy shit. Owning an insurance agency that's a storefront, like, I'm not working from home selling t-shirts out of my apartment. Like, running a business is super, super hard.
So I want you to talk about so what ignited you to actually start insurance, like that specific niche? What ignited you to do that?
The community.
Okay.
They don't have financial education. Okay. And I'm not just talking about Black people. I'm not just talking about LGBT people. I'm talking about everybody. How 70% of Americans don't know what they're paying for? You mean to tell me right now you paying Progressive $150 and have no fucking idea what you're covered for? But you work your whole life working for all of these assets, all of this, like this apartment right here, right? Your renter's insurance is probably like $10 a month that comes with the apartment. But like, if this bitch sets on fire, are they going to pay for all these cameras and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, and how you don't know that? Because, no offense, but I feel like back in the day, the way some people got rich was their great-great-parents and great-grandparents got onto the whole life insurance thing. If I leave my kids some life insurance, I may never see $1 million, but they will. And it's not about you. It's about what you're beyond. Like, it's about what's beyond what your eyes will ever see.
Right.
So yeah, you need 100K today, but your great grandkids and your great great grandkids need like $30 million if you want them to have this big ass kingdom and empire.
So I want you to talk to the people who just green to everything. They don't know nothing. Listen.
How you green to everything?
Break it down.
Sis, you need to be at least blue.
Listen. Break it down. So someone who comes to you, they're green, they don't have any life insurance. Like, what do you do from there? A brand new client. How do you help them?
So first of all, our first phone call is kind of like a get to know, not like a I'm dating you, but what's up? Like, for example, one of my recent clients, when I called him, he was a referral from one of my other customers. And I was like, so, how do you know so-and-so? What's going on in your life right now? He is a married man. All of his kids are grown. But him and his wife both work normal jobs. When I say normal, I mean they make 30 to 40K a year. And that's not a lot in America.
Right.
And he said that he just feared at his age, which is above the age of 50, that if something did happen to one of them and they bought this brand new house that they want to buy for like $250,000, he doesn't want her getting stuck with the mortgage because your mortgage doesn't die with you. I just want to tell y'all that.
Keep going.
The mortgage doesn't die with you. So imagine, let's pretend me and you get married, right? And then one day I'm off to work, something happens to me on 610, and I die in a car accident. But I don't have no life insurance, and we just bought a $1.2 million house.
I'm going to be responsible. Right.
All of a sudden, that 6K mortgage by yourself is looking really steep, right? Because at first it was just you paying $3K and me paying $3K. But now you got to come up with $6K, and you got to take care of kids. And you got other expenses of living. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's all about like just seeing who they are first and then just assessing their needs. What do you need? Do you have credit card debt? You got student loan debt? Like, what kind of debt do you have? That way, if you die tomorrow, like, what's not paid?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want your mama out here doing a GoFundMe.
Okay.
You don't want, you want your parents to like grieve in peace. You want your people to have the ability to grieve and not still have to give more of themselves to others. Like, you ever see people plan a funeral where they didn't have no life insurance? You see it all the time on Facebook and Instagram. I know you do. People are not prepared. So you worked your whole life. You hustled your whole life to get where?
Right. Nah, you right.
That's crazy.
Facts, yeah.
But people don't know that. And so I'm a community agent. I am what they like. I'm not a Wall Street agent. Like, I'm not like a glass office people. You know what I'm saying? I'm a community agent.
Okay. Let's kind of talk about, I want to change this conversation a little bit. Talk about being an entrepreneur and also dating. Like, how do you mesh the two together?
It don't mesh well.
It don't mesh well.
I have had such a hard time dating. So the last time I was in a real relationship, meaning somebody actually called me their girlfriend, was like 2018, 2017.
Okay.
And I've had talking situationships like since then, but the whole time concept and like me needing time to really get to know a person before I can get comfortable with them, I think I'm so busy that I don't really have time for a honeymoon phase. Like, you skip the honeymoon phase with me. Like, there is no, oh, we're just fucking like rabbits and laying up into each other. Like, there's none of that.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm like, so it's like, people are like, oh, well, you make time for what you want. Yeah. And what I wanted was to be exactly who I am. Every day I wake up and I'm the person I pictured myself to be. Being a serial entrepreneur is just, it's not easy. Like, yes, I have meetings for my insurance agency. Yes, I have meetings to be SLAPS, whether it be a podcast, whether it be poetry, whether it be a hosting gig. There are things, I'm now Madam Treasurer for my nonprofit organization. So, like, I'm dealing with hundreds of people's money. Like, I have meetings. There is no, you make time for what you want. Yeah, the life I created was what I wanted, and you either fit or you don't. You either like it or you don't.
There is, I'm telling you right now, I have this, everything you saying right now, I resonate with this. Woo, girl, Because
you just started a whole podcast and didn't even know what to do. It's not just me. All entrepreneurs know what I'm talking about, and I do not have the time to explain.
I know how you feel, right? I be saying the same thing. Like, I'm like this. Tunnel vision. Nothing else matters. If you not on what I'm on, if you not trying to help assist me in what I got going, I ain't got time for you. I'm not even going to sit here and waste your time.
Yeah.
So I'm straight up like that. Like, if you not on what we doing, then shit, you can kick rock, shout it, respectfully. You know what I'm saying?
I swear, I literally...
Cold game conversation. Stop playing with us. You are now tuned in. But yeah, you said Shawty ain't even make it through 3 dates.
Well, for one, in fairness, I don't know. It's this other girl I be going back and forth with. So me and her had went back and forth for like 3 years. Okay. And we had broke up again for I don't know how many times. And I started talking to Shawty on some cool shit because Shawty was just cool. Like, you ever meet women and they seem cool, and then 3 weeks later they talking about you don't make time for them, and if you really wanted a relationship, we would talk every day. Like, you ever meet women like that?
So
I don't like that. And I'm not that kind, and I'm not finna chase you to come back to me either. Like, I will leave you where I found you.
What kind of women you like?
All of them.
Okay.
I'm trisexual. I like to try shit. Like, I really do not. I don't have a type. I do not have a type, Aiden. Men, women, white, black, polka dot, yellow.
I never.
Nah.
Okay, so what's your preference like? Just off
Like for women,
the aesthetic. What's your preference?
I would say for women, damn. I've dated short women, tall women, skinny women, bulky women. Like I've really dated them all. I don't know.
I don't really have no preference.
I don't.
Is it
Maybe
more
nice
so,
lips?
Is it more so the mental
Definitely.
stimulation?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's the same with me. Like I gotta make sure that we connect mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like that's a huge turn on for me.
Yeah.
So what are some turn ons for you? Let's go.
Turn-ons.
Let's go non-sexual turn ons.
Okay, so non-sexual intimate things I really like are humor. You gotta be fucking funny. Bitch, do not have me in this bitch if you did not come to laugh because ain't no fucking way. Another thing is shit talking. Like me and my friends, we talk shit. Like don't be mad you can't come around my friends, but then you don't know how to talk shit. Because then it's like my friends are rough. Like, bitch, we talk shit around here. Like, you gonna have to grow some cojones. Like, you gonna have to do better. Like, what are you talking?
Let me spit this wine out, girl.
Like, I think another thing non-sexual wise is food. Like, if you love food as much as me, we will get along so good. Food is really my love language. I don't know if it's like a tourist thing. Some people say it's a tourist thing. Some people say like it's just a you thing. But either way, like food is definitely my love language.
Okay, so out of is it 5 love languages? If you could rate them of importance to you, how would you rate them?
Well, first, I believe in the 6th love language, which is space.
Okay.
Some people, I don't know if you've ever read that story, but it's about a husband and a wife, and the wife tells the husband like she can go away from 3 months for 3 months, or he goes away for 3 months, or whatever it is. They give each other enough distance to come back and love stronger and love harder. Okay. And I believe that distance and space is really big to me, so I just believe it. Like everybody should know about it because you can Google it. Research and education is free, people. Y'all can Google it.
For sure.
But if I had to like the normal 5, I would say number 1 for me, words of affirmation. Being that you're dating a spoken word artist, you gotta give me reassurance. Like, I'm just really big on that. I need to hear you say it. Like, I need to hear your voice. You like hearing my voice all day? Then be for real. Like, I need it back. I need that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Second, quality time. I'm an Instagrammer. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Content, like, whatever. But if I'm with you and we're on vacation or some shit like that, like, low key, I don't get on social media. Like, I might take pictures and stuff, but I won't actually get on social media until after we're back home and after the fact, because I just want 100% of undivided attention. Like, just with you. Like, you give yourself to the world every day. I talk to a million people every day. I swear to God, being in insurance and, like, being an entrepreneur, like, I'm on and off the phone all day. I'm in person with people all day, all the time. Like, I just wanted to be, me and you. Like, quality time is a big thing for me.
Okay.
Physical touch would definitely be 3rd. I am a sex addict.
Let's talk about
I have a really high
yes, ma'am.
sex drive. Like,
let's talk about it.
You
take a sip on that.
Okay, because amen, shorty. And let me tell you something. If you don't give head,
you need a head doctor, okay?
The boot with the ankle sprain and everything. What? How you don't give head?
So give me some turn-ons in the bedroom then. Talk about it, queen.
Okay. That's you, by the way, before I forget, my ADHD bad.
Okay.
I would say acts of service is my 4th, and then receiving gifts or giving gifts would probably be my 5th.
Gotcha. Okay.
Turn-ons in the bedroom, though. For one, I'm a smell person.
Okay.
Like,
that's same here.
I like everything to smell good. Like, I spray my bed linens. Like, I wear perfume. Like, down there, though, especially, like, I hope you've been eating your fruits and veggies, bitch. Because I'm a no.
It tastes a little sour, a little taint. Fuck that shit. Yeah, no.
And I hope you drinking some water too, cause
facts. We can taste that shit. Ooh.
Like,
when you giving head, Do you prefer your woman to be fresh out of the shower, or do you like a little tang? What do you like?
I would say with women, I prefer fresh out of the shower.
Yeah. That's the same with me too. I can't even hold you like.
It's almost like you just made me a hot plate. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. What are some other turn-ons in the bedroom?
It's fresh.
Yeah.
Some other turns on. So I really am into like surface BDSM.
Okay. Yeah.
So like I'm no longer a sub with the dom. Like I don't have contracts or arrangements like that anymore. But if I'm dating someone, like I kind of want you to like tie me up with real ropes and like really gag me and like choke me and stuff like that.
Oh, you like that shit? Ooh.
I actually have like real metal chains.
Really?
Like I have a sex toy like closet.
What's some stuff that's in there?
So I have little things like feathers, handcuffs, of course, those are a given. I really like leather whips.
Okay.
Like weird because I feel like when I was getting whooped as a kid, that shit was not funny. But as an adult, like I like a little bit of pain with my pleasure. Like, and then choking. I almost, you know what else I like? Men's suit ties.
Okay.
The silky ones.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Ooh, girl. Don't play with her. She said she is not going.
those are really nice. I also have, I really like vibrators. Yeah. Everybody has a rose, but like, do you have the rose with like the extended like dick on it?
Girl,
There will be someone watching this and she knows what I'm talking about, but there's a rose. So, you know, the rose is basically meant for like your clit, like clitoral satisfaction, I guess. There's one with an extension with like a little dildo vibrator, but it moves like this.
Okay.
While it's vibrating.
Okay.
So it strokes you. So it's basically fingering you and sucking your clit at the same time.
So when you have
that in the bathtub.
Ooh, listen. when you having sex with a woman, right? Are you more attracted to a mass presented woman, or is it more feminine presented women? Like, what are you attracted to? What kind of women, masculine or feminine?
I would say out of all the women I've slept with, which is a lot, 70% has probably been feminine.
Okay, yeah. You give me that. You give me like dominant femme. You give me dom femme vibes. Okay. Like you a dom femme, like, but you're femme. You definitely give me that.
Dom femme.
Yeah, dom femme, yeah. I don't even know if that's a word. I just made that shit up.
It's okay though. I mean, it's better than aggressive femme. Like I remember one time, this girl told me, because I'm not an aggressive femme.
Yeah.
She's like, you're kind of like an aggressive femme. And I was like, I'm really not an aggressive femme because I'm actually very soft. But dom femme behind the bedroom, I could get with that.
Yeah, you definitely give me that.
I say that because like, even though I didn't date as many feminine women or bisexual women, I definitely, as far as relationships were concerned, we're studs. We're masculine presenting women. But sleeping with, like just having sex with.
Who do you like having sex with better, dom or femme?
Can they be a neutral? I've had some good success with that. So I will say this. I think women who are neutral, especially the ones between the ages of like 35 and 45, or like maybe they're studdish, maybe they're like 70% mask, they do better with me because they can do both.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Like if I want daddy to dick me down with her strap, she can do that. If I want like a feminine woman who like out of the shower will let me like eat her pussy like a buffet, she can do that. Like someone who's not afraid to just kind of like open it. Like I'm not saying I have to penetrate you or anything like that, but I think being okay with your femininity, you have to be somewhat feminine.
Yes.
And I think that sometimes not all studs are in touch with. That shit is so unattractive. Maybe not to everybody because your own cup of tea, whatever. If you touch me now, I'm not saying no shade, sis. Do your thing. But I really feel like, Cause how you know I didn't want to eat no pussy today, and you just being
Right.
fucking stingy, like
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So like,
Exactly.
I'm really glad that like you tapped into that because even masculine men tap into their feminine side.
Yes, for sure.
So it's like all of a sudden you just so mucho macho that you can't.
Yeah.
Like if you gonna be anything, be fucking for real. Like what are you?
Right. Do you see yourself settling down anytime soon?
Definitely.
Okay. Okay.
I do not. Let me tell you, the streets are not for me.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been in them long enough. I don't like them at all. I
Okay.
really, once I was at a certain point of comfort in my life, not at a certain age, but a point of comfort and freedom, I really wanted to focus on my biggest goal of life, which is to have a family. Like, I didn't care if it was a wife or a husband, but I wanted one or the other. And I wanted kids. I wanted land. I wanted commercial properties. Like, I wanted businesses. I really want a family. Like, I want a family. I come from family. I come from love. I don't come from survival.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
For
So,
sure.
like,
For sure.
what are we talking
Okay.
about now?
So
What are we doing?
the last portion of the show, being that we're called Cold Game Conversations, we would like for you to give a piece of cold game to the people out there. Like any advice you would give them, like just about anything in life.
Oh, there's so much you can give a
Yeah,
person.
I know.
Well, this is good because normally
Yeah,
people
yeah.
ask me to do a poem at the end, but asking for wisdom is actually really smart.
Yeah.
For one, I guess I'll give you guys a couple of things. For one, always trust your own intuition. Just because other people can't see your vision doesn't mean that it's not possible. They're not supposed to have your vision. You're supposed to have your vision and figure out what it is or what it's going to take to make that vision become alive. Don't depend on other people to see it the way you see it.
That's a good one.
For two, invest. Don't be cheap about if you think you're Beyonce quality, why you at Cricket? Take your ass to Verizon right the fuck now, bitch. Don't argue with me. Don't ask me why it take money to make money. Because quality, like you either want quality or you don't. Stop putting your name on any kind of flyer.
I definitely feel that. That's
You
a
know what
fact.
I'm saying
Yeah.
though? Because there's a lot of entrepreneurs like out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
don't do no.
I definitely. You get what you pay for. Like, facts.
And make sure like you put your name on stuff that you actually stand for.
Okay.
Like if you're not standing for that ratchet ass fuck ass shit, then don't go.
Yeah.
You do not need that exposure like you think. Maybe you need to use your own platform. Like maybe you need to use your own, stages. Even if that's fucking TikTok. People go on viral TikTok every day.
Okay.
Like I really think people need to be more authentic
For sure.
and not just put their name on anything because doing that it's like absence makes for better presence. Like you could have went without this event and did something more quality. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Trusting your instinct, Dad. That's a real good one, man. So, if you could tell everybody where to find you at, go ahead and do that.
basically, like I said, just type in slaps on Instagram. It's like an underscore underneath it. Apple Music, Spotify. I have a poem on there called Dominate Me. That's like my number one poem right now. That's an erotic poem. I have another one called Cold Bottle of Scotch, which is a poem about depression and like getting through like a relationship and stuff. And that was actually like my most requested like stage performance poem for like 3 years in a row. Probably like 2018 to 2021.
Okay.
I would say both of those are definitely good.
Okay.
Go listen to that shit because that shit is heartfelt.
This is another Cold Game Conversation, and I am your host, Jazz Avante, here with my girl Slaps, man. Hey. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel, man.
And share.
For sure. Share. Listen, man, we're giving y'all cold game, man, from all aspects, man. Peace.
Peace.
Let's get it.